feel
I know it's not
like
your usual. It's not your usual nighttime.
no, well, it's like 6 a.m. for me, but I
I
woke
know.
up at like uh half five. No, I woke up at half four because I was like,
Oof.
yeah, I had a client anyway, and then I was like, well, why not? I needed to check in as well. So I was like, let's just get it all done nice and early. But I've been getting up early. I think that's, when you diet, you get leaner and you just wake up and you're like, well, there's no point sleeping. I may as well just get this thing started.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was me today. But it's okay. But hello, everyone. Welcome to Stage Talk again.
Episode 3.
Three. We've had firstly, I want to say like massive thank you to everyone because I feel like you've been texting me like every moment you get when your clients are saying like, "Oh my God, the podcast, love it." I've had the exact same. And one of the comments I sent to you from YouTube was kind of like I love this because like I'm such a geek when it comes to like listening to all the details, the finer
Yeah.
things, and like just knowing more things. It's just really cool to like see so
Yeah.
many people just locked in on this podcast. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how I think we hit just such a broad spectrum of people from all different areas of bikini, from true novice coming up that just want to like learn some stuff to
Mm.
like the relationships that we have with some of these competitors personally too. And like Yulia messaged me the other day and was like, I'm so happy I was able to get back on stage after Olympia and do Hurricane. Thanks for talking about me on the podcast. And
Love
Yulia
that.
is such a good person. Yeah, like she's someone I'd love to have on here one day and talk with her
Mm.
too. And just people like that. It's great to be able to spotlight some people, and especially when we have relationships with them. So thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been a really good journey so far. So, okay, today we've got show days to talk about. So all the previous show days, we've obviously got Prague Pro, we had Russia,
Yeah,
and all those types of things. And then we've got the upcoming shows to talk about. And then we've got a lovely, nice little Q&A again for you guys. So should we jump straight into Prague Pro?
just do it right into Prague.
Okay, so I'm always like, okay, let me just make sure that I've got everything correct. I'm doing everything right. Okay. So,
Like,
can you
oh,
see my
make sure I close
screen?
that window. Yeah, I can
I
see your
know. I'm
screen.
like, make sure that like not everything's up. I actually need to turn my do not disturb on so no one texts me randomly. So, okay. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay. So this was the show I think everyone was talking about because obviously we had Jazzy, we had Victoria, we had Alison, we had the other competitors and stuff like that. I think specifically people wanted to see Jazzy and Victoria next to each other. And again, we called it kind of they were a really, really good matchup, which was cool to
Yeah,
see. Um, I think this top six is a really good, strong lineup, and it's got
very good.
a lot. I want to say this girl here, she won her pro card this year.
Okay.
So I think that's a really good showing for her that she's in this kind of mix because
Yeah.
these are all Olympians.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
So
good.
that's really cool to yeah, every single one of them is Olympians. They went to the Olympia this year. So that's really cool to see her kind of in there as well, kind of matching up to them. She's got really good shape as well.
Very good.
Jazzy and Victoria, I
Jazzy
loved,
Victoria definitely a big talk of this show for sure.
yeah, 100%. I mean, what do you have to say kind of about their front poses or anything like that, or how they looked in
I
general? I
mean,
think,
Jazzy has a damn near flawless front pose. Like, I don't think you can be any more bikini than her front pose.
yeah,
The right amount of conditioning, not the crazy deep separations, but like just that right touch of it all over, from the good delt cap to where you don't really see the striations, proper detail through the core where it's not like super overly developed, but it is tight. Great overall S curve. Like Jazzy has
mm,
perfect side profile of her glute, perfect density to the leg. I think she's doing what her feedback was in terms of like the lat flare that
yeah,
she was told from Olympia. Like it really brought in her more overall, just like toned down a little bit that exaggerated curve that she had, and everything looks amazing here. And then going over to Victoria, I honestly just think it's a matter of time for her. I
hmm,
don't know her age, but she's young in the league.
yeah,
Being that this is her first year and won her pro card, won her first pro show, top 15 at the Olympia, and now second place to Jazzy at the show. So that's a big statement in the fact that like watching this, not that I can't find like a pose front or back where I could have her over Jazzy here, but I can definitely see
Hmm.
her like pushing it a bit. Like it's close enough to where I'm like, okay, this is a really good 1 and 2. So
Yeah, they match up, like we said, they match up very well. Like they've
yeah,
both got a good amount of muscle to them in terms of like the amount of muscle is probably similar, I would say.
yeah,
Like they both feel a little bit more muscular. They've got good conditioning. So they both match up very well. So I think, yeah, I completely agree. And I'm excited to kind of see what Victoria does next in terms of like other shows and stuff. So I think that would be really cool to see overall. And then we've
yeah,
got Sarah here. I think
yeah,
Sarah, she has a really good amount of muscle and fullness and stuff. I think for me personally, I want to see her hit the front pose just where it like hits nice. I think obviously this is a picture, so this
yeah,
could,
100%.
this doesn't show everything, but I do think definitely I've seen her sometimes where she doesn't always hit the front pose consistently, which again,
Yeah,
posing is so important when it comes down
yeah,
to these types of shows where you are against high level girls. So you want to try and make sure that you're hitting your poses correctly every single time and there's
yeah.
no missing it, you know?
Yeah. And you can
Um,
almost see in this front pose how she, like, developmentally, she can probably stand with Jazzy and Victoria here. When you look at her delts, you look at how tight she is, good
yeah.
conditioning, good side profile of her glute, but she's so squared off in the shoulders. She's so front facing. She's so just posing so big up top that it
Hmm.
almost poses her into that third place spot where I wouldn't
Hmm.
compare her to the top two because of the posing.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And again, this is just a screenshot. So this
yeah,
might
yeah,
not be her doing this the whole time, but from what we can see, even the judges seeing it like this for a second can
yeah,
take away like, oh, wait, she's way too broad up top. And like she doesn't have the same S curve as the top two. So let's maybe move her out or move her here because of that reason. So that's why,
yep,
again, posing is very, very incredibly important. And I
100%.
think it goes the same here with Petra, where again, it's a screenshot. We know that she
Yeah.
doesn't pose like this all the
Yeah, she's
time,
not
but
holding her arm like that, but yeah.
no, and this is also a thing not to do, of course, but we want to try and make sure that we're hitting it correctly each time and stuff. So, but yeah, I really like this top six, a really, really good, strong top six.
Yeah,
And I
very, very
think
good.
it was perfect scoring, or
Yeah,
not perfect scoring,
almost
but
all the
kind
way
of
through.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
So, and then the back shots.
back shot was great. Again,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is on Victoria's end, because I don't know if she was like getting into like how some girls go into their back pose and they kind of rock side to side before
Hmm.
they nail it front on. I don't know if that's what this is, where she's kind of tilted to the left because her shoulders, her upper body's dead on with us, like
Yeah.
it's dead straight, but her glutes are tilted to the side. So if
Well,
that's a
if that
posing
wasn't
mistake,
covering here, if that wasn't covering here, I could tell you what the foot positioning was. Because in my opinion, she might be this, like the left foot might be more forwards, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
usually
very
what
well could
happens. If
be.
it's not
Yeah,
even, her hips are going to be tilted to the left. So if I could
yeah,
see that left foot, I would be able to tell you.
yeah.
But it could just be a case of, a different foot positioning. But
Yeah,
still looks great, good conditioning, obviously good
100%.
depth and stuff like that. I just think Jazzy's back pose just kills it. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, this is a straight win because balance, she's standing up correctly. I actually think she's hitting her back shot better here than she was at the Olympia.
Honestly, when I saw these pictures come out and I saw a little bit of like the clips from the show, and no knock on anyone in the Olympia, of course, but this Jazzy could have won the Olympia.
Yeah, she
I
looks
think that
really
I
good.
think that they brought this, like her and her coach nailed this look so much. Like, and again, I don't know if the picture details a little better, if it's, I mean, the backdrop and isn't really doing anyone any favors in terms of being so red
No.
with like the tan and
Mm,
stuff. So,
mm.
but in terms of like this look, her front and back pose here and the detail I can see, and just I think that this pushes first place at the Olympia. So
Yeah.
this was a
This
solid look.
this is like when I saw that, I was like, damn, Jazzy, like really
Yeah,
good. I think before I don't know if she's changed her foot stance and potentially widen her shoulders or something like that, but it looks like so just top to bottom balanced, like so much more
yeah,
balanced. So I really, really like this back pose a lot. And like, I think the same again. I really like Sarah's back pose as well here. I
mm-hmm.
think you can see just development wise, like they're very similar. So again, it could be a case of you making small, finer tweaks to then kind of be
Yeah,
pushing these girls and stuff like that. I do
yeah.
have the um the recording. So let's get the recording up because I want to just show you because I want to actually like have a look and see what the frog looked like.
It's really cool looking at how they have the camera on them and it's on those giant screens in the back, like a live
Yeah.
screen like that. That's really cool.
They do that a lot with a lot of the European shows. There's a lot of like big blow ups
Yeah.
of you like on stage, which I always find super like cool. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
I
have to...
almost feel like if I was like a competitor hitting the back pose, I would want to make sure I'm not looking at that because I'm usually like
So
fussing with myself, be like, don't look, don't look. I
I've
know I'm
done
doing it
this
right.
multiple times. Unfortunately, it's so hard not to do it. Like it's really
Yeah.
hard not to do it. So like I have found myself multiple times always being like, okay, well, let's have a look at my back pose. Let's have a look at my, well, I can't
Yeah.
see my front pose, but you look at your back pose and it is so
Yeah.
off-putting. So if anyone
Yeah.
ever has the moment where, they get themselves like seeing themselves on the backdrop, don't look because there's literally no point because it will throw you off massively. It throws you off every time. And then even when you walk to the back of the stage, it's the exact same as well. Okay, so this was the first call outs. Let me see if I can kind of move. There we go. Oh, there we go.
That's cool. It lets you play back the live stream after you bought it.
Yeah, I know. It's cool, isn't it? So, okay, let's just go back for a sec. So this was the top six state. I mean, this was kind of the top six straight away. Like this is where they were moved to, or like this is where they first walked into, and then that was it. They kind of pretty much stayed there, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Probably moved around these two, maybe.
Yeah. And I don't know what Victoria's feedback is. I don't know if she has posted it or talked about it, but looking at this front pose, it's a really damn good front pose.
Yeah.
Like just all in all, like this is very impressive. I'm really excited to see her like 6 months to a year down the road and just seeing what she develops more into in this in general. Like I don't know, I'm not saying this as like this is her feedback. My feedback here is I'd want to see just a little bit more overall development, not necessarily through the delts, but like that torso thickness where the lat is. She's almost stiff arming it really hard and popping her lat out to kind of make up for how much glute pop she has in that front pose. And if that could just rest a little bit more just naturally, it would be killer.
Yeah, I think the harder thing is she's also a taller competitor because you could see, I think I want to say she's probably like my height, maybe a little bit taller. So always taller competitors, it's always harder to sometimes, I mean, it's not impossible, obviously, but it's harder to get that same dense look as the shorter competitors, I always find, because that's been my feedback before. Like, you need to get denser. And I'm like 70, no, sorry, I'm 63 kilos on stage. Like, how dense do you want me to get? Like, so it's hard to kind of gauge sometimes because of that height difference, I feel. But you could see here Sarah's hitting the front post correctly here. So again, that photo didn't show the full picture, but there was obviously at some point a way she hit her front post differently. So
the photos are also a bit more high def and I feel like probably more realistic looking because they look a lot softer across the board in this live stream. I feel like the pictures definitely depict a bit more of how detailed they were.
God, she's so much. I don't know. I'm actually really interested to see how tall she is because she's like her hips are here and Jazzy's are here. Like she's a good couple inches taller. Like
she's an entire like half head taller than her.
Oh, I want to stand next to her. I love standing next to fellow taller competitors. We're like, let's run the world. This is a really good lineup. Incredible. Let me try and see if I can get that back.
I don't know who this is on the far right here. Her knee looks very overly bent in that back pose.
That was Petra.
Okay.
Oh, look, you can see that move. Sorry,
I don't know if that was her angling on the side, like towards the head judge. That's just how I caught it, but she looks very squatted down. I don't think it's doing her like a whole lot of favors in that.
Which one? The one in the
on the back pose we just passed on the far right. She was angling, and it might have just been the angling that I saw, but she was squatted a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
So
you can
even
see
more straight on. Yeah.
You could see, in my opinion, I think she's pushing the knees out, which is making them bow a little bit. So again, pushing the knees out can be a good thing for like upper glutes and whatever, but it also needs to still look like you're not pushing,
Yes.
So I agree. You can see how like Jazzy's obviously kind of completely almost like stood up straight, and you can see where the knee like bows out a bit. So yeah, I agree.
And you also don't want, for anyone watching and listening to this, you can see her glutes, and because of the bowing out of the knees, it's creating that like thickness of the quad sweep that
Yeah.
comes out too far past the glute and is making it look a little bit disproportionate.
No, I completely agree. And again, they've moved them a little bit here. I think I think I just skipped. I must have skipped forwards a little bit too far. But you could see
You're good.
they moved these two.
Yes,
Yeah, they
I
moved
think
these
so.
two.
Yeah, because she was on the right side of Jazzy, so they
Jazzy was
swapped
here.
them. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
yeah.
they swapped them. So they weren't kind of looking at Victoria straight away, in if does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
they must have moved her after. So they must move her, I think, in a minute, potentially, if that's the case.
There's a walk to the back. Oh, another face in the front.
Yeah, they moved them now. There you go.
Yeah.
So they must have moved these two and then these two after.
Did you hear anything about that show? Is it like a packed house for the show? I know that
It was
obviously
busy.
with the men's bodybuilding and everything that was there for open, all that I know it was a very big show, and it seemed like Jazzy definitely drew some attention with her name from the U.S. coming over there, and then
Yeah.
Victoria being from over there. It's definitely a good little head to head that everyone expected.
Yeah, I think Prague has always been quite a busy show, or a very top level, like a good show for Europe and stuff like that. So I think it's always going to be busy regardless. And I think a lot of people, obviously, it's also a very good prize fund as well for a lot of the girls and stuff.
Yeah,
So again, that's not the only reason they do it, but also the production level. Oh, they don't do a walk to the back. That's interesting.
yeah,
I mean, again, if the winner's there and they know who they want,
yeah.
they don't need to do it. I think everyone
No,
always
and
expects it to be, okay, yeah, you need to
yeah,
do a walk to the back, you need to do this, you need to do that. But
yeah.
sometimes they're like, yeah, I know where I'm at, you know?
Yeah. Especially when you look at the scorecard and you see 3, 6, 9, 12, 15
Yeah.
straight across the board, they were all in agreement. So
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, let me get up. I didn't see any, or not loads of footage about the last show, the other show.
oh yeah, yeah. Where was that one?
Uh, Russia.
Yes.
I know Alessia got second, and I can't
Russia
remember
has a
the
couple
name.
shows back to back.
Oh, okay. So let
Yeah,
me
they
try
have
and
Russia,
figure
and
that
then
out.
is Kazakhstan near Russia? Am I mistaken? Because that
I
one's
have
this
no
week or
clue. This
next
is
week.
this
Yeah.
weekend. This is
Okay.
this weekend. Kazakhstan's actually this weekend, and it's
Okay.
busier than Spain. We had
Bikini
Linda.
Pro News, not to be mistaken with Pro Bikini News.
Yeah, there's so many like news stations that I had to go through. I
Yeah.
was like, there's Bikini Pro News, there's the Beyond the Stage, and now
Yeah.
obviously there's Pro Bikini. Yeah, there's a lot. Um, okay, so you've got Linda, who won the show. She,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, she's been to the Olympia before. I want to say when did she win her pro card?
Click on that
26 weeks
photo.
ago in
What's the date?
April.
Oh, okay.
So she
Awesome.
won her pro
So
card in April and she just won a pro show.
nice.
Congrats. That's incredible. So, yeah. So I want to say, surely this isn't a pro debut.
It could be. Wait, what's that Olympia qualifier one you just passed? Was that her win this past weekend? Or was that
This was her, that was her win. This one here, that's her win from
okay?
this past
Okay.
weekend.
Oh, is it okay?
Click it. Let's see. 2 days ago. Yeah.
2 days ago. Okay. I did see this picture. Okay. I didn't put two and two together that was this show. Okay.
Okay. So potentially, not saying it is, this might have been a pro debut. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't see any other photos from any other pro shows apart
Yeah,
from
not in between her pro card win
no.
and this show. Awesome.
So that might be a pro debut. So congrats, that's incredible.
Yeah, that'd be
Especially
great.
going against a few Olympians.
I know
Obviously, I
Alessia is a
know.
great competitor.
Yeah, she's an Olympian. Jess is also an
Jess Feeney.
Olympian.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
not
Good
too
lineup.
sure about the others either as well. We've got someone here who got third. I definitely
There's no way that photo's to scale, right? Is she that tall? Like looking
where?
at her across the Bikini Pro News photo of all of them together.
Oh.
Like if that's to
Um,
scale, like Alessia is not that short.
no, she's quite tall as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, never know. There's a lot
Yeah.
more
Never
taller
know.
competitors coming out the wins, which I'm loving. So because it used to be so many of the competitors are shorter. So it's nice now seeing like some length in the game, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got another Olympian here as well. I think she went to the Olympia. Was it this year? Yeah, she went to the Olympia this year as well
Okay.
from
Good.
Russia.
Good top six.
Mm, very good top six. So
Chatova. Okay.
Jotova, yeah. And then Natalia. And then this is definitely a leaner lineup for sure. Compared
Yes.
to the top six we just saw at Prague,
Yeah.
comparing them to these two, you
Yeah.
could
A
see
bit
that
leaner.
the leaner is you can see they're a lot leaner in this one. Still a good
And
amount of
that's one of
muscle,
those things
obviously.
where, yeah, so that's one of those things where to everyone listening, you can only judge what's on stage that day and what
Yeah.
looks best on each person. It's not to say that judging is inconsistent in any way. It's when you look at these top six, they were likely the most fitting of the criteria that day. And so they had to go that direction and compare them together versus what was at Prague that day. So,
Yeah, exactly. But again, like you said before, you see that swinging pendulum and everyone
yeah.
is very different in their own way. So
Mhm.
I think this was a good lineup. And again, kind of 369 along the board, so it was kind of unanimous and stuff.
Yeah.
And then back pose. Oh wow.
That's some glute pop right there.
Yeah, that's I also the way that she's got the glaze or the way the glaze is shining
Yeah.
on her glutes has really made them like look like so
Especially in
much more 3D.
comparison to the other five.
Yeah.
Like the that glaze and pop and how high and round, like just that pose in general really stands out in comparison.
Yeah, that looks really good. And again, like
Yeah.
these little things like glaze and tan, like I think she's her tan color I like a lot more than Alessia's. I know that's really random, but that
Yeah.
is taken into account. Like Alessia doesn't look too light, but she looks lighter than the other competitors
Yeah.
tan
Yeah.
wise, and this girl here as well. So potentially again, that's something to work on, just having a slightly darker tan to just bring out that conditioning detail just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And
The
sometimes it is
judges
just
did
that.
not judges did not have it easy here in the back pose from two
No.
through five. This is very different structures, very different glute shapes all around. Like this
Yeah.
is that's it's tough to judge because they're all good in their own way.
Yeah.
Just some people are like, oh, but there's not as much of a length and tie-in and glute there. I don't see as much of this. And it's just some people's genetics. Like you
Yeah.
look at second and third place, those glutes are complete opposites of each other, but they're
Mm.
very good for their body type, like just who what they brought to present. And that's tough judging right there.
Yeah, that is really tough. That's that. I mean, you can see why this Linda won,
Lydia, yeah.
Lydia won because yeah, that back pose is
Yeah,
killer.
that stands out as first place overall, six
Yeah,
of these for sure. Yeah.
100%. So, okay, so
Awesome
that
job. Yeah.
is
If that was her
the
pro debut, great
weekends.
job. That's a
Yeah,
great
that's
look.
incredible. Winning her
Yeah.
pro card in April and then coming back in October and winning her pro
Yeah.
debut.
That's
That's
great.
pretty cool. So, okay, so now what shows
Now
have
we
we
got
got
this
this weekend?
upcoming weekend. We got some good ones this weekend.
Yeah,
Got
we've
Jazzy
got
making another showing overseas.
yeah. So we've got one,
Oh,
two, three,
New
four,
Zealand has
five.
his first show,
Yeah.
his first Bikini Pro show in a long time. I think
Hmm.
it might be the first ever. I talked to Kate about this. I can't remember if it's the first ever or if it's
They've
the first one in
done,
a long
they've
time.
done, yeah, it's been a while. They have done shows before. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if they did one last year, but they've definitely done one before because I remember seeing a few girls doing it. And again, it's never a big show, but this one is probably one of their bigger
Yeah, it
lineups.
looked like it was a decent
Um,
lineup. There was a good amount of
yeah,
names
which
on
was
there.
cool. So you've got five pro shows. You've got Kentucky, which is natural. You've got Kazakhstan Open, the East Coast Pro Open, New Zealand Pro Open, and then the Nutri Yummy Pro in Spain, which is open as well. Which we got confused because I was like, oh, there's two Spain shows.
Yeah,
There's
yeah. There's
one
another
at
one
the
in like
beginning
two or
of
three
November.
weeks.
And there's one at the end of November as well, which I think the November one is the big man, which is the bigger production one or the
Yeah,
bigger,
yeah.
usually the bigger show. Um,
Mm.
so excited to see that one. So let's go if I can see which one is it. Okay, so let's go through the Spain show first. So yeah, we've got Jazzy as kind of the front runner, especially after winning Prague, which is super
Yep.
exciting. Then we've got Chantella Hill, and who I think she's from Spain, and
Yeah.
I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, she's been to the Olympia as
Yeah, she's
well.
been the Olympia before. She's good. She's pretty
She's
good.
She went to the Olympia this year as well. So, and I've
Yeah.
seen her compete a few times this year, and she's kind of consecutively in that kind of like top range. So it'll be
Mhm.
interesting. And like, that's a really good, like, this is her front post from Olympia this year. Very good front post to be matched up with Jazzy, I think. Because again, she has the same development kind of as Jazzy with like a good amount of muscle,
That's a
good
crazy
conditioning.
7 week difference in that caption she wrote. That's a crazy
Oh
difference in that front post.
wow. I was
That's
expecting that to
really good.
be, I didn't read the caption, but I thought that was like, oh, last year and like this year. That's crazy.
Really good. A little bit of posing tweaks in there. You can see with the foot placement, especially the
Yeah.
front foot. But that looks really good. It looks like she brought her waist in like 3 inches in that 7 week time. Like that's
Yeah.
really good. Really good.
It's a really, and do you know what I love? I really like it when that top line area is really nice and straight and it just
Hmm.
gives you that nice width up top and then comes right down into the waist. Like really nicely as well. I think she'll be
Yeah.
a good matchup with Jazzy for sure.
Her
Um
hair looks really good in that right photo as well in comparison. I like how it's kind of coming up and over a bit more and rounded rather than
yeah.
straight down and flat on her head. Looks really
And
good.
again, these things, like it sounds silly, but these like little things, like sometimes like straight and curly hair, like it
Yeah, it
makes
matters.
a silly
Yeah.
amount of difference because it just
Yeah.
looks
It
so
can
much
change the
neater.
look of someone's like silhouette when they're on stage. Like when you
Yeah,
look
I know
at
what you
them
mean.
head to toe, there's things that can make like some body parts or even like the head look bigger or thinner. And then that matters when you're looking at the width of the delts and the width of the lats. And it just, every little thing like that changes all the way down to suit color. Like the blue on her, in my opinion, looks so much better on the left. I
Yeah,
can't tell if that's like a dark purple or a
it's a
black,
darker
but it
purple.
just,
Yeah.
it softens her a little bit and just makes it look more just bikini, if the, for lack of better words, like it just looks better all around.
It it
So,
doesn't also the purple, I think sometimes,
oh,
especially with
hamstring cramp.
darker hair.
Keep going.
You're like, ah. Um, with the purple and the dark hair, like the dark purple, and it sometimes is almost then too dark. Like you need some form of like pop and like just brightness a little bit
Yeah,
more
yeah,
with bikini. So I feel like the suit color change and like all those things that she's done
yes,
that aren't physical look
yeah.
so much more like
And there's like
feminine.
for anyone that's if you're not listening on Spotify and you're actually watching this, like look at her in the blue, look at how much just in general, and of course like tans are different show to show, but
Yeah.
look how much like more like life she has to her
Yeah.
face, like the light and brightness on it, how her hair is kind of coming over and around more than like flat on her on the front of her face, and that blue just pops like every and it draws your attention away from like in the left photo. I don't know if it's the darkness of the suit or just the darkness of the silhouette itself, but I'm drawn to like how big her delts look. And then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
over to the
Yeah.
blue and I'm like, oh, this is a very balanced,
I
pleasing
look
look
at
top to
everything.
bottom. And yes,
Mm.
exactly. So
Yeah, I like that a lot.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got, and then we've got.
Hopefully she wears the blue after hearing this weekend.
Yeah, I know. If you're listening, wear the blue. Please wear the blue. I like the blue on her as well. Also, I feel like I haven't seen
Rainia or
that
Rania is
much.
really good too.
Yeah, randomly, I haven't seen that much blue this year. I don't know if that's
Mm-hmm.
like me. I
Red was
feel like I
popular at a lot of shows.
so
Very.
popular. This girl
Elizabeth
here.
Perez. That sounds familiar too.
But yeah, I think she's competed. When did she compete? Yeah, I thought she competed recently. She competed at the Tsunami
Oh,
Pro
okay.
before the Olympia. It was like a
Yeah,
week
that
before
was
the
beginning of
Olympia.
the month. Hmm.
Yeah, and she got third. So the competitor, that's men's physique, and
Yeah, I
then
didn't
this is
see it on any
bikini.
Instagram pages.
This
Woo
is
B's in it.
bikini.
Okay.
There's also a girl called Sarah who I think is a good consistent
Okay.
pro if it's the one that I'm thinking of. She's competed quite a few times, so I think she'll
Jessica
be.
Feeney stands out to me. Why do I know that name? Has she competed
She
like
just
a lot?
she just got sixth at the last show that she
Oh,
did.
okay.
She got
Okay.
to the Olympia. She's competed quite a few times in Europe. So yeah, she's quite a
Okay.
familiar name um in the shows and stuff like that. So I think it'll be cool to kind of see again this lineup in general because I'm not familiar on everyone's names. So again, it'll be cool to kind of see who reaches that top six area.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
great. I have a
we've
random
got
question for you.
yeah,
So,
go.
being in the UK, do you guys call your own shows international shows? Or is like shows in the US international shows? Or are they just called like US shows? Because like anything that's not in America, we call international shows.
Yeah, it's the same as the UK. Anything that's not in the UK is an international show.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just
So which
curious. I
makes
didn't
sense
know.
because it's like
Yeah.
international
Yeah.
to your country, right?
Yeah.
So, um, but I feel like I miss international because I'm fucking everywhere.
You are literally everywhere.
So someone said the other day, they were talking to me as if I was in the US. And I was like, oh, by the way, I'm from Dubai. They were oh, I thought you were like based in the US. And I'm like, no, I'm just in the US most of the year. So
Yeah.
you're fine. Um,
New
New Zealand
Zealand.
Pro,
So
this is a
front
good
runner,
lineup.
definitely. It's a great lineup. Kate's definitely, I feel like a front runner here. It's a two-time Olympian, but
Yeah.
really good lineup across the board.
So I want to see Kate, and there's a girl called Kareen. I feel like she won a pro card. When was it? This year?
Junior
Last year?
USA's
Last
right there in
year.
the middle.
No, so that's sorry, that's
Oh, is
not
that
her.
client?
That's her client. So
Okay.
she won her pro card last year,
Okay.
and I think she'll be a really good matchup to Kate. This will be her pro debut, I want to say,
Oh,
if I'm not
awesome.
mistaken. This is not the greatest angle because I can't see it from front on, but she's got great development and shape. So I'll be interested to see them both next to each other. The reason I know about her is because she's a very good poser. So when I
Okay.
saw her, I was like, oh, obsessed with her posing. Um, so I think she'll be one to watch. And I'll be
She
interested
looks
to
great
see.
here. That's a really
Yeah,
good video. Her
I want to
walk,
see.
everything was great.
Okay, this is a front on one a bit more. I don't know if this is like she's got
This
really
is
good
real.
density.
This is really good.
Mm. So I can't, obviously it's not everything, but again,
Oh,
I
this
think
is good lighting. This will show a lot.
this is from 3.5 weeks ago. So, but yeah, you can see nice
Her
amount of
front pose.
development, really good
Yeah.
balance. So I'm interested to see. I think she'll be a really good matchup against,
Yeah.
um,
She looks very similar to Kate too. Like
this is what
symmetry
I
and
mean.
proportion. Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
That's what I mean. So I think it'll be cool to kind of see them both next to each other. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting match. Oh, wrong one. Here. Okay, where's New Zealand? And then let's have a look at Kate. If I can see, is that Kate's Instagram? Yeah. Yeah, Kate's obviously been to the Olympia, won multiple pro shows. Where's the showing from the Olympia? That was her.
I think she's won four shows in the 3 or 4 shows in the last 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
So she's made a really good name for herself, and she's obviously it's going to be and oh, again made a name for herself for obvious reasons in terms of how she's looking and stuff like that. She's got great balance, great flow.
These
You
are
know,
really cool shots. Shout out to Physique Visuals for these. Those are really cool stage
yeah, they're
photos.
cool. I
I
feel
like that
like
like
this year's
shadow around them.
Olympia. Yeah, I feel like this year's Olympia. They like a lot of people got very creative with
Yeah.
the visuals in a really good
Mhm.
way. I seen some really, really cool shots and really cool videos from the Olympia. Um, so yeah, that was cool. Okay, so then I don't know why I keep clicking off it. And then we've got Morgan. I've posed Morgan a few times before. She's another one who I think this is her pro debut. Um, so this will be a
That
good one
video
to
looks
see as
hilarious
well.
right there.
Which one?
She's
Oh
like
yeah.
laying across her husband or something on the hamstring curl. That is so
Me
funny.
spotting, yeah, I saw this. Me spotting me trying to spot my man. Like, there's no
This is
literally
amazing.
me. It's literally me though. Like when a guy ever says to like the girls, I mean, again, no testament to the girls and not saying that they're not strong or anything like that, but it's so different when you've got to spot someone that's literally curling probably your body weight and you've got
Yeah,
to pull
yeah.
it with your arms. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna spot you? Like, what do you mean? What do
Yeah,
you
that's
mean?
funny.
So
That's a funny video.
um yeah, I can't see posing shapes, but she's got good balance, good conditioning. It'd be interesting to see them next to each other.
Yeah, that's
And
3 days ago.
then,
Conditioning looks pretty spot on. You said that's her pro debut this weekend?
yeah, that's her pro debut
Okay.
this weekend, I
Awesome.
think. And then this name looks familiar because she's been to the Olympia before. We did Olympia, I think, I want to say together in 2023.
Okay. You've been to the Olympia 3 times?
Twice. twice.
Twice.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, she's doing this show. So again, I can't see shapes wise. She's got good balance and symmetry. Waist is tiny. Those are the main names that I kind of recognize. Everyone else, obviously, I'm not too sure about. Yeah,
And
so good
now
lineup.
we got East Coast Pro.
Yes. And I
This
think
is a
that I'm gonna
great
show you
lineup.
the
This is quality.
comparison with this in a second, but this will be a cool lineup for sure. So we've got the main two people, Evie and
Maria.
Maria.
Yep.
That's going to be
Evie and
cool to
Maria were
see.
both top 10 at the Olympia just a few weeks ago and very close in placing 7 and 9, 7 and 10, 7 and 9.
Yeah, 7 and 9. This is a
So
matchup or a lineup.
that's gonna be really good. Yeah, there's a great video, 7th and 9th. Who made this? Be on the stage. That's
Be
really
on the
cool.
stage. It's cool as well because they're very similar in physiques in terms
Mm-hmm.
of what they
Yeah.
look like.
Overall
Um,
stature and everything, like almost the
yeah,
same height, like everything.
the way they move, their hair, the color of the suit. Like I think everyone was laughing when I think it was they both did New York Pro. I think the
Mm-hmm.
whole top, either New York Pro or Pittsburgh Pro, the whole top four was like all red, all black hair. Because Amy won, obviously Amy
Oh,
won. You then
Amy.
had
Yeah.
Emmy as well. Then you
Yep.
had these two in the top four. It was
Yeah.
like they were all twinning. So
Yeah.
I do like seeing when the girls are very similar, like in like hair, suit, everything like that, because it
Mm-hmm.
takes away like any of those like extra things and it makes you look at the body like even more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're not
Yep.
looking at the suit really, like it already both of them are the same. So it's cool because it takes away those aspects because they look similar, in my opinion,
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, this is gonna be a really cool lineup. Really cool
Yeah, I'm
lineup.
excited to see the two of them. And that's not to take away from anyone else who
No.
could potentially upset in there in that top two, where you have Yulia, who is a very consistently placing top 5 at any pro show. She
Hmm.
just got third at
Hmm.
Hurricane by 1 point. She was 1 point off of second. So she's definitely a good standout.
Yeah, 100%. And then you've got Ashley. Isn't that?
Ashley Hampton. Yep, I train Ashley.
Yeah,
She's
I don't know.
she's come into her own show by show by show this year. She started off at Southern Muscle this year with 4th place, her first show of the
Hmm.
year. Had a little bit still to go on conditioning. Olympia presented a very good look that I told her after the fact. I was like, you looked like 90% of your best here. And she
Yeah,
agreed. And her check-ins today look phenomenal.
that's
So
cool.
her, Yulia, Evie, Maria, that definitely a very, very tight group right there on any direction that judging could go.
Yeah, that's sorry, I'm trying to find her Instagram now. That's why the screen's
It
paused. I
is
can't.
Ashley Doriel.
Okay, that's why. Because I was typing in her name and I was like, it's not coming up. Okay. Can you see my screen again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think there was a shot that I saw from her page and I was like, this is a really good shot. I want to find it because she's got
That
really good
one, that
structure.
first one might be a swipe post. There might be more on there.
You are correct. Yeah, this shot. I really
Yeah.
liked this shot.
Yep. Yeah. Not every bikini girl's like favorite angle being like straight onto the waist like that, but
Yeah.
she looks great. She has great glute projection and density. Proper curves all over. S curve looks great. Nothing's like forced in her posing. So for her, it
Oh,
really
this is
is
this
just
one.
this was great. Yeah, this was outside the expo hall. For her, it's really making sure that conditioning is. I talked about this a few weeks ago. It's like Ari, where if Ari is 100% on with like condition and everything's brought in right, it can be 1st place or 6th place. Like there's
Hmm.
that like that bit that much can be thrown off. Same with Ashley. If her conditioning isn't proper for her look, for everything to pop and fill out properly, show the lines, it's the difference of multiple placings. It could be as high as first
Hmm.
place when she nails it, and she could beat top Olympians when she nails it, which she has in the past. Or it could be several placings down if it's not 100% on. It's just that some people have that physique where a little bit off looks a lot different.
Yeah. And that's always the hard part about bikini. Like it again, just not even bikini, but in general, like any division in bodybuilding, you could be slightly off and it changes everything.
Yeah.
So it is really important to come in at your all-time best. And don't get me wrong, it's not going to always be easy coming in your best every single show, but
Yeah.
that's the aim of the game to come in at your best. Yeah, this was an incredible shot. Incredible shot.
Yeah.
So and then that's everything, right? So we've got, yeah, we had Maria,
You
Yulia,
got Alessia here too.
Alessia are here as well. She just got second, obviously, at
Sharon
the
Ramos
show.
just won Brazil.
Ah, oh yes, yes, she did. And then you got Megan as well.
Oh yeah, and Megan. Yep, Megan's in here. Steph's in here as well. Steph Warden. There's a lot of good names in here. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see Meg get up there. Her coach is Dylan Bear Aesthetics, and they've really refined her physique based on a lot of her critiques that she's gotten.
Hmm.
For those watching, Megan is a natural pro and almost stands out
Crazy.
too much in the natural pro shows. And so her going open is definitely the right path for her. She has insane glutes. I think there's a
Hmm.
back pose on the next slide, or there might be one somewhere in here, but
Yeah,
her glutes are insane.
incredible.
And almost to the point of where I believe her feedback at one point was that her lower glutes were too much. Like, how often do you hear that?
I can see
How
that
often?
though.
Like, it's just such
Yeah.
an uncommon critique, but she got that as consistent feedback and brought me on for training. So we altered some things a bit to really try to streamline her more bikini. And I'm very, very excited to see her coming out for East Coast Pro. I believe she's doing San Diego after that. But
Hmm.
she just has just crazy good proportions. So
Hmm.
really excited to see her in this lineup. Really hoping she can get in that mix in the first call out. I do believe it's doable for her. She's had a couple good placings, so I think she won a natural pro show and is qualified for Ben Weeder as well. And she's had some decent showings as well as open pro. I think at DC Pro this year she placed fairly well. I think it was DC. Don't quote me on that, but she's got some very good potential.
Yeah, this was 3 weeks ago. I think 100%. And like that glute pop and density is just insane. Like it just
Yep.
hangs there, you know? And I think, like you said, if she refines her look overall in like front pose, for example, because I know she's got a little bit more of a muscular upper body
Yeah.
to match the lower body in a good way though. But I think if she can kind of balance that out a little bit more over
Yeah.
time
Taking
with getting
a
more shows and all that type of thing,
yeah.
I think should be right up there.
Oh yeah. Dylan and I and her talked yesterday, and she's taking a little bit different approach this peak week to try and soften the lines up just a tiny bit going into the show, just to make
Hmm.
things not stand out as drastically in terms of separation and overall muscle density. And I
Yeah.
think with the shape that she's created has now and the good bikini proportion, that just softening it up a touch is going to streamline her right in line with a good first call out. So
Yeah, I think this would be really, really cool to see on stage for sure. Really, really cool.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that is
Yeah, great. Honestly, there's
everyone.
not that this is a great lineup. I mean, you have Steph Warden's been as high as fourth place. Sharon Ramos just won Brazil. You have Ashley Hampton there, who's a multi-time Olympian. Alessia in there, Evie in there, Meg in there, Yulia, Maria. Zini Chen. That she's the one that
Yeah,
just got
this is
second
the
to Amy.
one. Yeah,
Yep.
this is the one that just got second to Amy. This is a
Yep.
really good lineup. I didn't actually
Yeah,
look like
this is a
fully at it.
great lineup. This is crazy, actually. I didn't look at all these names either because, like, I'm friends with a few of them, like Maria and Yulia, and so I saw their names stand out. I trained Megan, Ashley, and Steph here in person, and I'm like, okay, cool, some great people in there. And now, really diving into this is a quality lineup.
Yeah, you do see a lot of, yeah, you've got a lot of different people on here. So this is going to be
Yeah,
really interesting to see.
and her and Yulia just went second and third by 1 point, so this
That's
is
going to be
really
cool to
good.
see like a rematch
Yeah,
potentially. Like again, one of them might I get. So then this is when people are like, oh, she beat Yulia before, so she'll beat Yulia again. No, like you don't know
no,
what then happens, what people look like against
there
on.
is so much that goes into play. Everything from the elevation of your flight water retention, sleep the night before, hydration, all the way down to knowing that even in hurricane, they were a 1 point difference. So
Mhm.
that could flip overnight.
Yep,
So
exactly. So, oh, I'm excited to review that next
yeah,
week.
this will
That's
be
gonna be
really
cool.
fun.
That's
I
gonna be
have
so good.
everyone in town this week, like a
Oh my
Hunter
God,
and Laura
yeah.
Lee, and everyone's in town this weekend. I saw Steph at the gym today, and I was like, by the way, everyone that's in town this weekend at the Airbnb, we're gonna live stream you. So, and she's like,
Yeah,
please don't.
literally. And you're like, oh my God, there's gonna be so much going on now. So, okay. So that's this weekend's lineups and previously past weekend. So excited to see everything. So we're gonna kind of go through. I kind of like how we did it last week, where we did all the like little Q&As and stuff like that about other things and stuff. So I think that was cool. And I think the end of each podcast, we're gonna kind of do that. So if you do have any questions or anything like that, please comment if you're on YouTube and follow us on Instagram because we'll be posting on Instagram about obviously the Q&As and all that type of thing. So I think a Q&A at the end of each one is always going to be good because we get some really,
Yeah,
really good questions. So the first one I do want to go through, which is a kind of an answer that you can, I guess, reply to, which was a YouTube comment on our last one about Kerrigan and Cass. So she asked, was there any comment from the judges on full presentation between Kerrigan and Cass? I like Kerrigan's tan. Oh, I feel like Kerrigan's tan is so much deeper and is a bit more polished. She has a little bit more polished look than Cass. Was there any feedback with that?
so Kerrigan got really good feedback from pretty much the whole panel about her presentation, like her look itself. They love the color, they love the hair,
Mhm.
and she always does the DIY pro tan. And she just has like she's been competing for 9 years and she's always done it, and she just has her own formula down, like the right amount of this mix with dark, and just she literally measures it out in how she wants to mix it. In every show her tan's always going to be on point because of that. And then I think that's that, and the gloss, and then just her suit choice and everything really stood out on stage in comparison. But the delineation there was that yes, presentation matters a very good amount, but when you're talking about physique, Cass was just that bit more ahead in the back pose and that overall upper outer glute density, which
Okay.
we know we need to work on. Me and James had Kerrigan for 10, 11 months now, and
That's wild.
we
It's
can only
not
grow
even
at a
been that
certain we can
long.
only grow at a certain pace.
It's not
So
even
try
been that long though.
yeah, it
Like
hasn't been very
I
long.
think people see like what she looks like now and they're like, wait, why is this not winning? Like see her last year, see her
Yeah,
previously
yeah,
before. Like the development is crazy. Give it 2 more years. It's like
yeah,
she could
yeah.
be unstoppable with the
And
results, you
she's
know?
only 29 for anyone that's wondering. So she's very young in the league. Like she's been competing a long time, but still very young age wise, and
Mhm.
definitely a very bright future ahead. But so she's not done yet for the season. She's got a few more in her.
Exciting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, and then next question. If you had to guess right now who's winning the Olympia next year, who would you pick? I have no clue because you never know who can turn up and literally be like, yeah, Miss Olympia. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, well, like
Yeah.
we like this one. Like it it all depends on who shows up right on the day and who shows up at their best. Um,
Yeah.
I mean,
I would give a super biased answer here, and I can give a realistic answer. Like
yeah,
I train Vanya. I want to see Vanya win. She's
yeah,
the reigning Arnold champ. I don't know. I can't speak for her. Don't know if the Arnold is in the picture for this upcoming year, just with her injury she's nursing and stuff. So that'd be my biased answer. My other biased answer would be like I'm training Laura Lee this weekend, and I think we're going to make it more of a consistent thing in person at least.
that'd be
And
cool.
I would love to see her get the title back.
Hmm.
Realistically and statistically, I think that Jazzy is Miss Olympia next year. Like just
Explain. Yeah, explain.
trajectory wise, and then what I saw in the pictures and the clips I saw from this past show, and how I just said at the beginning of this episode, if this showed up at the Olympia, this wins the Olympia this year. I think that she's got it fucking nailed down, and
Mm.
That's not to say I think that there's rumor of, and I'm not trying to spill this at all. I may have talked to her, but I think Jen's coming back next year. So
Oh.
put her in the mix, Maureen in the mix,
Mm.
reigning Miss O, and depending on like who does the Arnold and who does Pittsburgh next year and what we see from them. And then you always have Amy, who's extremely consistent. So it's so hard to guess, but just based on like statistics, which is kind of how I did my predictions for this past Olympia. Like statistically, I would have had Laura Lee winning and Vanya second, like reigning Miss
Mm.
Olympia and the Arnold winner. Um, but looking at the trajectory right now, I think Jazzy can win the Olympia next year.
Yeah. I don't disagree, and I don't see that not happening. I definitely could see that happening like next year.
Yeah.
Like if she was to come in how she looked in Prague, potentially, I think from what I saw of the photos, which I don't know if the photos looked like a little different. Also, I know the bikini girls went on, I want to say they went on maybe super late to what they're usually used to going on.
Mm,
I think if she brought in her waist the tiniest amount, tiny little bit more, from what I saw the photos anyway,
yeah.
I think, yeah, 100%. Like that package on the Olympia next year, like spot on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
spot on.
And I would love
So
to
that would be
see
really
some like,
cool.
I'd love to see some pre-Olympia shows from the top girls. Like, do I
Yeah,
think Ashlyn getting top three is going to just chill and wait till the Olympia next year? I don't think so. Like,
I don't
she's
think so.
requalified. I don't think she's going to. And I would love to see her come and do Pittsburgh or do New York or do even a show like
Mm,
pre-Olympia, like in that like August, September timeframe. Because then my prediction could shift and I could have her winning the Olympia.
yeah,
Or Maureen could come back out to Pittsburgh or do the Arnold and just like wow me even more. Like we talked about how we feel how strongly she won, just like how amazing her balance is in her back pose. And if she just tightens up a little bit and maybe like just gets in comparable condition for what still keeps her within balance for her physique in comparison to Jazzy, Amy, Ashlyn, could she be like a very outstanding front runner? She could. So
yeah.
it's a I'm excited to see next year's shows for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one because, again, all of the girls have just kind of done the Olympia, got their feedback. They've either continued competing or they've kind of stopped and
Mhm.
said, hey, let's call it a
Yeah,
season.
yeah,
Let's try and build, work on feedback, all that type of thing.
yep,
So how long is that going to last? Like how obviously long are
yeah,
they going to be? Because
yeah,
sometimes with the pros, they take their time off. It's not as
mhm,
big of a time off. So it could be a couple months and
yeah,
then they're
yeah.
straight back into it just to make those changes, or it could be longer. So again, we don't know who's competing, so it'll be cool to
And
see.
Jazzy did just put on her caption today that this will be her last show before she shuts it down.
Yes. So
So
I thought she was doing Romania. So that
yeah, I
again,
thought so
Romania
too.
will be cool to see because I think
Yeah, I'm
that's
excited to see who
next
comes out for
weekend.
that.
Hmm.
Yes.
So I think Victoria, if I'm not mistaken, mentioned that she might do Romania and Spain. And I
Okay.
think she was talking about the last Spain show and obviously Romania this coming. So she could win it. She could
Okay.
win it and then be
Yeah, she
completely
could.
qualified.
Next
She only
weekend has
needs
a
one more win
couple.
anyway.
Yeah, she does only one more win. There's a couple good shows next weekend as well that I can't wait to touch
Mm.
on. You got San Diego, you got Hawaii, you got Romania, and I think there's one more.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think so
a
as well.
another good weekend of shows.
So in short, it could be anyone's game for Olympia.
Oh,
Like
100%.
whoever turns up, spot on with where they need to be. It could honestly, it could be anyone's
Yep.
game.
Yeah. And
Do
I
you
will say
know?
this on repeat forever that I think once she is like really coming to her own in 100%, I think Maria is going to be a consistent top five at the Olympia at some point.
She looks a lot leaner as well from what I've seen, or not leaner, but she looks more poppy now
Mhm.
from what I've seen in her recent check-ins and stuff. I think she just posted a check-in of like um same amount of days out for like the Arnold, the Olympia, and then this show, and she looks a lot more like Poppy.
Okay.
So that would be cool to kind of see what that
Yeah.
then looks like because she looks better than the Olympia and the Arnold.
Yeah.
So will that translate
Awesome.
on stage? That would be cool. Um, do you know who's doing the Arnold? Well, no, we don't know because the application's only just gone live, what, a month ago?
Olympia
And
week.
yeah, and then it's open for another more week and one more week and sorry, one more month, and
Yeah.
then They
We
usually
usually find
announce
out the
it.
first or second week of December. Last year, I
It's
remember I think I was sitting next to Ashlyn at Texas Nationals, and the flyer just popped up on Instagram, and we are like, "Oh shit, you're in the Arnold."
Yeah, you're in the Arnold. I
So
think it's
yeah,
usually like 12 weeks out, like they tell you, or 12 or like 14 weeks out sometimes. Because I remember
yeah.
one time they told us, obviously, this was because of the Olympia was so pushed forwards because it was in December. I remember they didn't make the call, or do the list until like 8 weeks out. So there was so many of us like, oh my
Damn,
God, we're eight
time to
weeks out
scramble
now.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, oh, okay. So, but I will say that I have applied. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Okay. Is that going to be the Arnold US and UK, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've applied for both.
Awesome.
So we'll see. We'll see.
You heard it here. Is this the first time you said that?
Yeah. I don't know why I said that. I was
Heard it here
like, keep it
first. No cutting
under.
that out. I'm going to
I
listen to this
know.
back and make sure that's in there.
Fuck. I was like, let's cut it out. And then I can't keep a secret to save my life. So,
You should make
but
that part of the title, like the recap of what we did, and then Phoebe spills a secret, like that. Get people jumping into some
I'm so
clickbait.
shared
Not even
secrets.
clickbait.
It's
You did.
so hard. I'm so awful. I'm like, people are like, are you in prep? And I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I
mean,
could name, if people are asking who's in the Arnold, I could name 15 people that I know that applied, but
yeah,
don't know
I
who's going to
agree.
be in it.
I know a lot of people that haven't applied, and I know a lot of people that have. Again, I'm not going to
Yeah.
say who, but I do think that it'll be interesting to see who has applied from the Olympia, who's applied from that top 15 kind of range.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that we're going to see that's new? Also, sometimes what usually the Arnold do, if they have applied, is they invite the winner of last year, if I'm not
Uh-huh.
mistaken. Who was the winner of last year? I know who it
Vanya.
was. No, no, no.
Oh, the year
The
prior.
amateur. No, the
Oh, the
amateur.
amateur. Yes.
Yes.
Juliana.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that'll be cool to see if she stands
Yeah.
up. If she then obviously
Yeah. Yeah.
does the Arnold and stuff like that. So I always like that they do that as well. I like that they invite like you get an automatic invite. If you won
Yeah.
the previous
Yeah.
Arnold, you get an automatic invite, I think, if
Mhm.
I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you
So
do.
that
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Because it was Rhoda 2 years ago after she won. Then it was
yeah.
Stassi. And now this year it should
Mhm.
be Juliana.
Yeah. So that's cool. Um, People said thoughts on Victoria and Jazzy. We've kind of basically given our thoughts
Yeah, we
on
definitely,
Victoria and
definitely gave our thoughts on
Jazzy
that.
enough. But I think they're a very good matchup again in the lineup that we just saw in Prague. And both of them have great physiques. And again, I think we think that Victoria is going to be a superstar, like moving forwards in the next like year or so. Just
Oh, yeah.
keep doing shows. Like my advice to her, honestly, is just keep showing up. Like
Yep.
don't stop. Like don't
Yeah.
kind of take a huge amount.
Don't
You
take
can
too
take
much
time
time
off.
off.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is it don't take too much time off and make sure that
Like
you just
she,
keep showing up.
yeah, I feel like she has a win already for this season. She just got second to Jazzy. Great statement as well. I believe we just said that she's doing Romania potentially,
Hmm.
which would be
Yep.
great to see. She could win that. And then if she wants to take a break, I would come back again end of spring, summertime, just to get your name back up there in that top contention again, within a couple months of the Olympia. Like
Hmm.
knowing that you just got top 15 of the Olympia, keep your name very relevant because the physique
Hmm.
stands out like a superstar. Just got 15th at the Olympia. That's great. But become relevant again leading into the Olympia and just go win another show and be like, okay, she's one to keep talking about. Look at the improvement that she made from, let's say it's Romania to coming back out in April or May, and be able to
Hmm.
see that progression, see the consistency, and then she wins another show. She would definitely be talks for top 10 next year.
If I was her, I would, if she's listening, because I know she listened to the last one, so thank you for listening, apply for the Arnolds, honestly, because if you could get
Yeah.
into the Arnolds and be stood up against, for example, like I always love the Arnolds for me, because when I've done it previously before, feedback wise, I'm next to, because with the Arnolds, it's only 10 to 15 maximum. The last year that they did, I think, was probably one of the bigger ones where it was 15. Sometimes it's usually 10 girls, but it's usually the best of the best, the top girls. So to be able for her, if she was to get an invite to the Arnolds and stand next to those top girls, to really be compared against them like more, because again, she got top 15, but did she stand next to was she able to stand next to like Amy, Maureen, like
Yeah.
other people? That would be more Laura Lee. Would it be a good idea for her to stand next to her then and be like in that small proximity with those other girls? That would be a really good,
Yeah. Be very
a
good.
good idea for her. So if you're listening, apply, because I also, if I also get an invite, I want to stand next to all the taller girls. It'll be very
Yeah.
helpful for
Yeah.
me.
That'd be great.
So, okay. Thoughts on Jazzy doing what Ashley Kay usually does with shows? Is this fair? Now, to clarify what that means is Jazzy is competing in, she's already qualified for the Olympia for next year, and she's doing more shows and winning shows and quote unquote taking opportunity away from other girls is what people are referring to, I'm guessing, with this question, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna run with
competing
this
more.
answer because I'm gonna
Yeah,
be super blunt. I'm gonna be super
yeah.
blunt here. I don't give a fuck
So
what anyone thinks of this answer.
yeah,
Jazzy, you guys are professionals. It is your a quote unquote job, not just passion, but job to be out there and doing this. And Jazzy loves competing. She loves being surrounded by other competitors. And if anyone's been around Jazzy, she's like a highlight of your day. Like she's backstage, she lives for this shit. And so and not to say that like it was any different with Ashley Kay. Like Ashley loves to run the
no.
circuit too. She loves to compete. She loves to travel. She loves to
She
do
also
shows.
has a different
And
goal to majority. Sorry to cut you off,
yes,
but she has a different goal to majority of people. Like I've mentioned to her before. She's mentioned this to me before. She's said about it multiple times. She wants to be like her thing to be untouchable, like to get the
yeah,
most amount of wins. So when she's
yeah,
finished competing, like no one can even get near it.
yeah,
Like that
yeah,
was her goal, and like to have
yeah,
that goal is like 0.1% in the world. Like that's her
yep,
goal. Like other people's goals to win the Olympia. Other people's is to literally be like like a legend. And that was her
yeah,
goal. And that's
yeah.
okay to have that. But people
I mean,
see that as
doesn't she
unfair.
on paper, outside of the most wins, doesn't she also have the most Olympia wins too? Does anyone else have more than three? She has three, right?
In bikini,
In
yeah.
bikini. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
in
she has the most
bikini, yeah.
Olympia
I don't
wins
think
and the most wins. So
yeah,
like
I don't think
yeah,
anyone's on it.
she's solidifying herself like crazy. Everyone knows that. But to answer the question in general, I don't think it was ever unfair that Ashley did it. I don't think it's unfair that Jazzy's doing it. I don't think it'd be unfair if Laura Lee or Jazzy, or Maureen or Ashlyn or any of them wanted to come out and do 6 shows next year. Like one, there's no longer an argument that spots are being taken away because you get points for second through fifth.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that side of the argument is just squashed. But two, I just hated, and I think it was the most like, and many people did it. There's no singular person. A lot of people would complain about Ashley doing it, and I just think it's
Mhm.
beyond petty. Like it's a job. Like if you can't beat her, sorry. Like if you're in the
Yeah.
same show as her and you got your spot taken away, sorry. Like she's better. Get better.
And also, she's
So
not unbeatable. She's been beaten by other people
yeah,
before. Same as
yep.
Jazzy. Like
Same with
Jazzy could have
Jazzy.
done this show and Victoria could have won. Like you don't
Yeah,
know, like, oh, Jazzy's doing the show, meaning she's gonna win. You never know, but they also want you to show up at your best and
yes,
give them a
yep,
battle as well. So
yep.
they're not going into shows being like, oh, I'm winning. Like they
Mhm.
know that they're up against a good lineup of girls and want to have competition.
Yeah.
Like to show off their potential as well, you know?
Yeah.
So
And
I think
to speak on the training and coaching side of things, a lot of coaches collect data show by show. So Jazzy got feedback at the Olympia. So she went into this next show and wanted to execute her feedback. She won regardless, but she wanted to see how she would look with a slightly different look.
and she looked
Going into
better.
She did. Going into this next show, maybe she looks a little better, maybe she doesn't. Like they're trying to nail what works best for her. I've seen and heard Adam say he's done the same thing with Ashley.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to bring her in more full this week and see what the judges say. We're going to bring her in with this look this week and see what the judges say. Like she got 50 wins. Do whatever you want and see what's going to
Yeah.
look better. That's the whole point of competing.
Yeah.
So there's many reasons to it. Everyone has their own reason. I know Jazzy made a huge caption the other day about how much she loved getting to do her first shows over there and being able to meet people that she hadn't met before. Like there's so many reasons to do it outside of just going and getting a win. Like no one's really doing this to go and get a $3,000 paycheck. Like they're doing it for the experience, the travel, the fans, the people they get to meet, the sponsors, like so
Yeah.
many reasons on top of solidifying their own career and legacy.
Yeah. Like the
So
$3,000 is probably going to cover your flights. Like, let's be honest, like not
yeah,
even your
yeah.
flights, especially
Especially coming from
international.
America to go over there. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's not doing anything. And again, she doesn't have to do this. So why is she doing it? Like that's what you have to look at. Like again, like you said, feedback, data, making sure like she's already said that she wasn't 100% her best at the Olympia. So she wanted to
Hmm.
do and look better. And she definitely did. So
Yep.
again, coming in different, probably for this show, she's probably doing something slightly different to come in even better. Like there's always things to work on. Like no one's perfect on stage. And that's what it's about, getting better and like you said, travel and all that type of thing. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's unfair, but I understand the argument as to why people are arguing, but you have to also then understand where the competitor is that is coming from, who is also competing consecutively as well. Like you can't just tell them and be like, oh, you've already won, so you have to like now not compete now until Olympia. Like imagine that. Like that's so unfair on them to be like, I love competing, but I now can't compete because it's unfair, you know? Like it doesn't make sense. Um,
100%. If anyone can hear the
okay.
creamy spinning in the background, I'm sorry.
I can't, but that
Yeah,
sound
I know.
is
It's
like
so
the worst
ridiculous.
sounding
And it goes
sound.
for like 3 minutes straight. It feels like an
It's
hour. It's
it's
crazy.
so annoying. I have to shut my kitchen door and like step outside because I'm like it actually pierces like through my soul. Um Who do you each think is the best bikini competitor of all time? I mean, you've got
I
to take
mean,
in loads of factors with that.
lots of factors. There's
Like
lots of
on
factors to consider
paper,
there.
you could say
Ashley.
Ashley K because of the wins, the amount of titles, like stats,
Mhm.
everything like that. But then it also then depends on other things of like what they do for the sport, like
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
out there, going to seminars, like what do they bring to the sport? Do they do more for the sport? Like then you could look at
If we're
physique and what we
talking
think.
if we're talking on and there's a few different ways to look at this too when we want to talk statistics. Ashley has the most wins by a mile. And
Yep.
now if we want to make this sound like statistically correct and you talk about it like the power rankings on Sports Center, does Ashley gain positions as being the best of the year when she wins regular pro shows but doesn't win the Olympia? On paper, she is the best of all time. On paper,
Mm-hmm.
year by year, is she the best? That's where it comes down to it. Like she just got fifth at the
Interesting. Yep.
Olympia and she's lost regular season pro shows. I think she's lost two or three in the last year and a half. And then the ones that she is winning, is she beating the Jazzies and the Ashlands and the Lorleys?
Yep.
So it's stuff like that. So of all time, yes, Ashley on paper is by far the best. You got three Olympia titles and 53, 54 wins.
Yeah,
But if
that's
we're
wild.
talking current day, who's the best? She wouldn't be in my top. In my top would
Mm-hmm.
be, and then talking ambassadorship as well. Current day, most recently, you have multiple Arnold wins from Laura Lee. You
Mm-hmm.
have an Olympia win from her last year. Um, and then you have, in my opinion, Laura Lee is one of the best ambassadors of all time for the entire sport, the entire industry, not
I
just
agree.
bikini.
I agree.
So I think that she travels a ton, she speaks a ton. I was watching her stories the other day, and I was talking to her the other day about how much she's been traveling because she's coming here this weekend
Mm.
to come out to one of my events, and we're going to train together. And she's gone from Olympia to back to back to back speakings and seminars and doing special guest presentations and awards for regional level NPC shows. Like, how cool is it to be the bikini overall winner at your first show or at a local show and Laura Lee's handing you your overall win?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's good ambassadorship on top of how she like presents herself online and puts her date, like, not that you have to do this, but puts her day-to-day life out there, talks to people what she's doing. She makes herself very relatable, very, and
Mm-hmm.
people love to follow a story. So I think that she's the best ambassador and current day, one of the best in the last 3 to 4 years of the bikini industry because of her Arnold
Uh-huh.
wins, her most recent Olympia win. That puts her at the top of my list. And then you have the consistency from other people. Like
Yeah.
Jazzy's consistently winning pro shows, got third back to back years at the Olympia. So there's things like that to take into consideration.
Yeah.
So of
I
all
think
time, Ashley, but
I think I yeah, I agree. I think for me anyway, it comes down to the ambassadorship thing for me anyway. If I'm looking at it from a perspective of like, if I was like an amateur, I would want to know like everything. I would want to
Hmm.
see what you're doing a lot more in depth in prep, see you at shows, like see and get to know you as a person, which isn't something that you have to do, but I think it's something that you would want to do as
Yeah.
an ambassador of the sport. And again, the
Yeah.
question wasn't who's the best ambassador of the sport, it's best bikini athlete of all time. So I
Hmm.
know, but we're looking at this from a perspective of like everything, because that's what it needs to be sometimes.
Yeah.
I agree, Laura Lee, because she puts out everything,
Hmm.
or she puts out a lot of stuff, and I think that's one thing that has been the big difference in the last kind of couple of years, and
Yeah.
it's been more like enjoyable to watch bikini grow because you then see other people do the exact same. You see more
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
speaking more, showing their story, because it used to be very like back in the day, it used to be kind of like, this is my meal prep, everything's perfect, so easy, da, 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 da. And it's not like it's not all
Yeah.
cutthroat and easy and this like, so it's nice to see that switch up in girls actually saying, hey, I've gone through these struggles, hey,
Yep.
this is my story, and just the relatable side of things, because then people can actually like humanize you a little bit more, because don't get me wrong, like people put us all on a pedestal, and I think that's amazing and they do that, but I think that they think it's unattainable or really unrelatable to get to where we are, and it's not like
Yeah.
you can get to where we are, and get to where Laura Lee is and win, Olympia and shows and stuff like that, but like you have to see the journey behind it, and I think
Yeah.
that's
And I always,
something so
to
special.
speak on that comment really quick. I always tell people that like I train novice to the Olympia, and I have some of these novice girls like, what's it like training this person? What's it like training this person? Because
It's
they're
so
younger,
normal.
they're fans. And I'm like, one, they're normal people. Two, that can be you because they were you 10 years ago. Someone has to be Miss Olympia 5 years from now, 10
Yeah.
years from now. Someone. It could be someone from nowhere in the middle of Kansas. Like someone has to be Miss Olympia at some point.
Mm,
The top five is not going to be the top five forever. People age out.
no.
So people retire, they age out. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, it's so unrelatable or it's so just, I can't look like that, you can just put in the consistency in the work.
Yeah.
To touch on what we were just talking about, if Jen comes back next year and gets her title back at the Olympia, she takes greatest of all time for me over Ashley. Because that would be winning her title, losing it, getting it back, taking some time off, coming back and getting it a third time. That would be the
Yes.
best of all time to me.
Because a lot of people always then say, like, oh, once you've lost your title, you never can win it back. Because I had a
Yeah.
conversation, because Maureen was just at the Dubai Muscle Show this past weekend, and we had like an hour-long conversation. And that was something she mentioned. She was like, I had a lot of not hate, but a lot of comments coming into the show for Olympia saying,
Mhm.
I don't think she'll win it, because she lost it last time. And like
Yeah.
she proved everyone wrong and obviously,
Yeah.
got it back. And I think it's the exact same with Jen when people are like, oh, she lost it, so she's probably never going to get it back. She won it back, So
Yeah.
like it's not unobtainable. And
And
it's the
Jen's
same with Laura
also a great
Lee.
ambassador.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, Jen's a very I've me and Jen are pretty close friends, and I have like personal experience of seeing how good of an ambassador she is. There was
Mm.
the Arnold 2 years ago, I think it was, maybe 3 years ago. Um, Mark had to leave the day, her husband, for those listening, had to leave 2 days before she got on stage to go back to Vegas because he had his citizenship interview. And so she was left alone in
Wow.
Columbus and was there by herself. And she talked to me about it, and obviously a little bit down. Her husband's not there, who's also her coach. And she was just a little bit down about it. But she's there at the athlete meet and greet the day before the Arnold as one of the very last people to stay there to make sure she got to the very last person in her line. No matter
Mm.
how like maybe in her field she may have been or like wanted her husband there and is like, shit, I'm doing this show alone pretty much now. And she still stayed for every single person that was there. And the athletes, for people that don't understand this or haven't been in these shoes, it's hard to stand at booths and do meet and greets when you're 24 hours out of stepping on
It's
stage
a
and
lot.
to be on your feet and to need to still make sure you're getting your meal timing in and your water in, but to stand up and hug everyone, shake everyone's hand, take pictures. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot when you're a day out from getting on stage and you have a line like Jen gets of 500 people that want to meet her. So,
And not only that, it's not like the meet and greets aren't like, hey, picture, that's it. It's like we
no, it's
talk
five
to
minutes of talking to
people.
every single
We talk
person.
to each
Yeah.
person, like, because you want to know who these people are and like hear their story and like know if they compete. Where did you hear about me? Like, it's nice to get that, but it's a lot, especially at 2 days out. Like, so I think again, that's not also being like, oh yeah, that's she's the greatest because she does that, but it's the greatest because she does so much more
Yeah.
within the sport that also then helps bring up everyone's knowledge within the division and stuff, which that's what I admire the most when
Yeah.
someone can help the division develop. That's where I think
Yep.
you're the greatest of all
Yeah.
time, in my
And
opinion, because you're
Laura Lee and
helping.
Jen are also both those types of people that no matter what they're doing, if they're in an NPC show and they're there as the special guest, maybe they're handing out the award, they got dinner reservations, if they got something else going on, if they need to go to the bathroom, they could get stopped 20 times on the way out and they will stop for every single person.
Yeah.
So that, and people might be like, well, that's not that big of a deal. No, it is, because you got to think these are normal people. Like they're
Mm.
everyday life people, but they're going to take that time out, even if they have a meeting to get to, even if they have a dinner to get to, even if they have something of importance to do. They're those people that are like, no, you're my fan, or you're someone that wants to talk with me. I'm going to take a few minutes to step aside and talk with you, even if I have somewhere to be. And
Hmm.
it is very admirable and ambassador like to do. And that's why they're looked at so highly.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, and then the final question. Do you and Phoebe have any plans of doing a seminar together? We actually haven't spoken about this, so we're just going to speak about it now.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
love to.
a lot of people do collaborations a lot of the time, and I mean, this is just shooting from the hip because we literally have not talked about this at
No.
all. With what I do, like everyone that follows me knows that a lot of gyms or shows that have like coaching and speak like training seminars the day before, like I'll fly out for to do training seminars, to do one-on-one sessions, and to mix that like cohesively with what Phoebe does, which is posing, is a very easy thing to mesh together. Like we could
Hmm.
put on a seminar that is a come and meet the podcast hosts and talk to us about whatever. And if you want to train with me, I'll be offering 30-minute sessions for X amount of time. If you want to pose with Phoebe, or if you want to pose for us and we're like critiquing you and how like anything we could, there's so many different things we could do for that. So
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
I've run something before where we've done kind of like, a training camp almost, where sometimes it's hard to handle, but it's easy to do. And then an hour of posing or an hour and a half of posing. So an hour and a half of training, an hour and a half of posing. It's hard, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it's something that I'd more than happy make a day of and
Yeah.
like make
Yeah.
it really, really fun. And again, it's a great way to then meet people, kind of get to know people a little bit more. This is why I love training and posing with people, because you can get to know them just that little bit extra as well. Even we
Yeah.
could even figure out how to do a live podcast at some point.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be cool. Where we could
Yeah.
kind of do like a live little podcast Q&A kind of vibe where we take
Yeah.
questions in person. So we haven't got
Yeah.
time to think about it and we're just on the spot, which is scary because I've done it before, but it's fun.
That'd be fun.
So
That'd be fun.
if you
Yeah.
want to
A
see
whole
that,
thing just ran through my head of us being able to do that. Like picturing, knowing that Dallas Nationals is coming up, Texas
yeah.
Nationals. And the GASP headquarters is there, and they literally do live seminars there, because I don't know if you've seen that gym. They have an office that has glass garages around the office that they roll up and open to the gym. And they do
That's
seminars
cool.
there, and they do live podcasts there and take live questions. And meshing that with a seminar where we could even call it like even if we did something around a big national show where we call it like a mock show day. And like if
Mm,
you're competing
yeah.
in nationals this week, like you're 3 days out, you want to come get some like posing tips or critique from you and I watching you guys pose, by all
Mm,
means, like
by all
let's run
means.
it. Let's do our comparisons. Like let's get you guys in line with each other. Like it'd be fun.
Yeah. So
So
I'm 100% down. If you wanting to see something like that, definitely comment down below. Did you say destination or was it the?
Destination Dallas.
So I
Yes.
have a call with them today actually, because
Oh,
little spoiler alert, if anyone is in the Dallas or Texas area and his figure potentially will have a Miss Olympia seminar in November. Miss
Could be
Olympia
awesome.
figure Olympia with Ria Gal. So be aware of that. That's like a little heads up because that's coming, hopefully.
Nice.
Fingers crossed.
That'd
So
be sweet.
hopefully in the next podcast we'll know more details. But yeah, that would be really cool. So 100% I'm definitely down for doing something like that. So if you're wanting to see that from me and Corey, comment down below. More than happy. I figured out, so obviously I'm competing next year. Obviously everyone knows that now. But I figured out my kind of schedule for 2026 and it's mental. So I don't mind adding in something else into the mix as well, coming over to America again. So more than happy to do something like that. So that'll be really fun. And I
Do
love
you
doing those types of things, you know?
do you think that you're going to come over here? So let's say you get accepted for the Arnold. Well, you would go back for the Arnold UK, but do you think you would stay over international after the UK, or would you want to come back here for an extended period of time and run some American shows?
So I'm going to give you a little insight to what my schedule looks like at the moment. So January, we're
Okay.
going to the Fit Body Fusion Summit, which I'm really excited
Mm-hmm.
for, to see Jamie, obviously do the summit, all that type of thing. That's only going to be for a week. Then fingers crossed, obviously we'll go back to the US or come back to Dubai, come back to the US for the Arnolds, fingers crossed. If there's any shows after the Arnolds in the US, probably run one of those, then go to the UK. Then I'm going to Bali because I have a pro camp that I've just been invited to, which is really exciting.
That's really
Um,
cool.
and I did a seminar over there this year. So we're going to be planning hopefully another seminar around that time potentially. Then I'm 1000% already know this. I want to do Pittsburgh and New York. And any
Awesome.
shows around that in the May time will most likely be done. Like if I'm going to go to the US, will probably be done around that time frame. So
Okay.
that's my plan. That's my
That's
plan.
good. That's a
That's
big
been
schedule right there.
it's a big schedule. And
Yeah.
the thing is for me, I think a lot of people are like, you're going to come back and compete loads. I want to come back and compete a lot because
Yeah.
I've never competed with Jamie before. We've had an off season together, but she's never got me lean before. She doesn't know what we need to do peaking wise. I know obviously how my body works, but again, we've done so many different things this last kind of even just couple of weeks that I've never seen my body do before. So I'm like, this is literally like I'm a brand new
I saw you
competitor.
posting some of your posing stuff, and I was like, okay, Phoebe, what are we competing next week? Like,
Yeah. I was like, people are like, where did this come from? I'm like, I've been prepping, like just to let everyone know, I've been basically prepping since the end of August. So I've been prepping for a little bit already, but we've made some really good changes and like we're not pushing too hard either, like at all. So like my body's responding really well to the time off, to what we're doing. So for me, what I'm usually used to going into a prep is very different. So already I'm like, my body feels different this time. Like every prep is always going to be different as well. So I think that already to answer anyone saying like, oh, is she going to compete a lot? Probably because it's is brand new for me. I feel like
yeah,
it feels like a
I
brand new
love
body.
that.
So I'm excited to kind of run the circuit. I also want to stand next to multiple people. I want to stand next
Yeah.
to Amy. I want to stand next to Ashley,
Yeah.
Laura Lee. I want to stand next to everyone so I can see what I need to work on because I've been off stage for 2 years. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Well, you're
changed. The
gonna
criteria
go.
hasn't changed, but I have, and I need to see
You're
what they
gonna
want
go
from
and
me.
win. You're gonna go win two shows, and then you're gonna keep competing, and then we're gonna get comments asking if it's unfair if you're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's what I
Yes.
want. That's what I want to happen. I want people to think that it's unfair that I'm competing that much. You know?
Perfect.
Fingers crossed. That's the aim. So but thank you guys so much for listening. This was a good podcast. I think we're getting
That's a good
the
one.
hang of all of this now, like all the little switches and the
Yeah.
screen shares and stuff. We're getting used to it. So
Yeah.
if
One
you
more
are
week till I have
watching
my podcast room, guys. One more week.
yeah.
So
So he's
then
gonna
we got
have
one
a
more
nice
episode after this.
setup. I
Yes.
I I feel like every podcast we've kind of like both leveled up our podcast game. I've
Yeah.
got to do like little stand because I was like, I don't want to have the mic anymore. I want it to be in front of me, like a proper
Yeah.
professional one. So but yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you are wanting to know any questions or anything like that, because I think I like how we've done the Q&A at the end
Hmm.
of the podcast. So if there are any questions you're listening to on YouTube, comment down below any questions you have. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you guys.